and welcome to the lobby, GameSpot's weekly hangout every Tuesday at 2 p.m. specifically in Pacific, right here at GameSpot.com. I'm your host, Danny Dwyer, joined by Mr. Chris Waters.
Danny!
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm feeling in good health.
Did you have some Bloodborne nightmares last night, I hear?
Dude, I didn't sleep very well, I will say that. Yeah, Bloodborne nightmares, because I got to the point where these dudes with just these meat bags are swinging them at me.
I don't know the meat bag dudes yet.
Yeah, no, they're gross. They're freaky. And like, I think it was like stormy too, so like a tree was knocking against my like wall. Restless.
There
Not
was
good.
a giant storm last night, though, to be fair.
That's true, that's true. You didn't sleep well either, Aaron Sampson.
Oh, hell no. I had babies screaming at me all night. And guess what? Rob Handler just came in today and told me he had a murder dream.
What?
Really?
I
Wait.
think it's Bloodborne.
Wait, he was doing a murder or he got
no,
murdered?
like somebody got murdered in his bed and he woke up and like thought that it had happened.
Oh, no.
I think you guys are all having like really bad PTSD from Bloodborne.
Let's be honest, your
Yeah.
baby screaming wasn't a Bloodborne dream. That's an actual
that
baby.
actually happened, yeah.
The worst dream I ever had was I had a dream that there were some ghosts having sex in my bed.
And they didn't invite you, and you
Yeah.
were feeling
Yeah.
like really hurt.
neglected.
Your
Yeah, I
like
was
sexual self-esteem just took a real big hit.
I want one of these supernatural threesomes. What a guy got to do.
Come on, ghosts, we're right here.
But I was having a dream about, and I was in my room in the dream about ghosts having sex. Like literally, like one of their faces would be where I would sleep, and then I woke up, which is the worst place to wake up if you just had a dream about ghosts having sex. Yeah, it was awful. I couldn't
You
go back
woke
to sleep.
up in your bed. Was the worst part was that they were gone?
or that you woke up.
I had to use my imagination. Damn it. Anyway, Aaron Sampson, you're here. Sorry it took 5 minutes for us to get around to introducing you. You've just done a live stream over on Yonder Set for Rainbow Six Siege. I want to talk about the grand history of the Rainbow Six franchise going back to 1998. But before we get into that, what do you think of Siege now that you've Chris played it at this event a couple of weeks back. Now you've played it with Gen Pop, kind of, in this closed alpha. Stay tuned we're giving away codes. What do you think about Rainbow Six Siege now you've played it with like a bunch of randoms?
I mean, to be fair, I think the first couple hours of today was just pretty much the JV teams kind of scrimmaging and learning how to play in the game.
Yeah.
Not necessarily indicative of what it's going to be halfway through the week when people actually start getting 5-man teams together and communicating. That being said, I don't think they can ever rely on people actually talking. That's a lot of what we ran into this morning. They're really going to have to work on those mechanics. For example, we were talking about how, Evolve has a certain amount of spotting that works, and like
Yes.
Portal has the look and time. Even like the old Vegas series had the mark and like go kind of.
Yeah, true. Like
Buttons.
under the door style.
Yeah. So they're going to have to do something with the lack of talking, and it can't just be, we're just going to assume people are going to talk.
Because you were playing on PC, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. It's the problem with the next-gen consoles as well, or current gen, is that for some of them, the mic packs weren't bundled in as well, so like people just aren't kind of talking.
I guess
as
they
much.
had versions that didn't have the mics
I think the
built in.
Kinect one, if you get that, do you get a headset?
Even if people
Or you
do have mics, man, I mean, you can't count on them to talk or to want to talk or to be playing in an environment when they can talk. So yeah, they need to have something like that. We asked them about it when we were there. They said they're maybe working on something, but it does feel a little crazy currently in the closed alpha. It's, some people are talking, but the audio, for the most part for me, was really muddled. So it was tough to hear. And so you're just kind of like, well, I'll go with this guy and maybe we'll do something complementary together. And you sort of try to observe what your teammates are doing and sort of have a loose plan. And I think, like Aaron said, there are only 2 maps. And so as people get to learn the layout, get to learn what are effective strategies, that the whole level of the game will improve. And then, well, that's the idea, right?
Yeah.
You hope that'll happen, but especially currently in the closed alpha, you can't squad up.
Oh,
So
you
you're
can't?
not
Oh,
actually,
really?
like Aaron and I can't go into a match together.
Right.
And that's a whole different experience because we're able to like plot ahead of time. We're able to, scout and sort of coordinate stuff. And that is a lot of the fun of sort of teaming up and figuring out ways to dismantle the situation.
Actually, interestingly enough, it's developed up in Montreal, and a lot of the people were also speaking French on the servers.
Oh,
now,
really?
given, it's a closed alpha, but like our French is kind of rusty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like maybe having the game have contextual callouts would be better, where the actual characters themselves call out what you're seeing. Just things that get away from players having to memorize what everything's called and articulate what it is to other players.
Outside of the communication snafus, obviously this is a alpha, closed alpha build of the game, so it's super early. Have you guys been sort of playing around with the destructibility with the weapons? Have you learned any interesting little sort of tactics?
Dude, flanking
today?
runs with Sledge, the attacker. He's got the hammer. All like normally to breach through a wall and destroy it, you have to like set up your pad, get to safe distance, click the thing.
Yeah.
But with him, he's just like, oh, bop, and it blows up. And so if you like, I had a few times where I just like ran through the cargo area or the rooftop crawl space of the plane and came around and just bopped my way through walls and totally destroyed dudes.
Can you kill people with the sledgehammer?
You can. We haven't actually done it successfully because it's like as soon as you see someone, you want to shoot them real quick because bullets kill you super quickly in this game.
Like Counter-Strike style?
Yeah, and but like to do that, you need intel. So having your drone available, like looking at security cameras, still super important.
My favorite moment from the stream this morning was literally when Chris got backed into a corner, was like, oh my god, I'm trapped. And then he was like, oh wait, no, you can just go through this wall. It's just like changing your whole mentality that like, this is not an obstacle to me anymore. I can get out, just go through it.
That's excellent. I heard there's some sort of, there's like a weapon that shoots like bombs at walls that explode, but you guys figured out like this new way of using it.
We used it there was an indestructible wall, and there was somebody had put down Castle, I think it is, had put down a barrier, and so we fired it into the wall the unbreachable wall next to the barrier, and it blew sideways.
Oh, almost like throwing a claymore mine or something.
Like it's the equivalent of a grenade, but like it basically blew out behind the cover and killed the dudes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff still to learn about Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, like you can't shoot through airplane windows. Don't even try it.
Yeah,
it's good for intel.
Seems legit. I guess if it's like Air Force One, maybe that's a thing.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's Siege. That's coming out later this year. But I don't know if you guys know, but there was a bunch of other Rainbow Six games. It's not a new franchise. It's actually been around for quite a while, since 1998.
98?
98. 98's when the first Rainbow Six came out. I remember getting this on. It came out on PC is what I played it on. It was subsequently out on a bunch of weird consoles. It was out on a Dreamcast actually the year later.
It's natural home.
It's like so different when you think about like Rainbow Six now, like the original now in comparison to what like Siege is. Like it was this crazy like tactical plotting where you're gonna send people, like you'd put them outside doors and then have like shortcuts to say like, all right, go now. And then like, God, look at these graphics. Like I remember like if there was line of sight with the enemies, they would like murder you instantly. Yeah. Like one bullet down. It was really hard. I remember playing the first game. Look at that guy, shoot him. And they had the same death animation. You shoot them any way, they'd always like...
They just fall over backwards?
Yeah, like bend their knees and fall backwards. Like do this little... And it
Look,
was,
destructibility.
Good old weak knees.
That's where it all started.
God, I had a serious flashback just looking at the like gems and geometric shapes on those diagrams, man. Because it was so... It was so about that kind of planning and that like setting up your AI friends to like go like know when they would go to this go point. And I think that's a lot like we're seeing some backlash against Siege because it is such a divergence from this kind of very measured tactical situation. Not that this dude's kind of running around willy-nilly.
Yeah, this guy's going a bit buck
Although
wild.
to be fair, if Siege does end up including Terrorist Hunt, you'll have some of this in it.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. We're only really looking at one mode. It may be the marquee mode for Siege, but there is going to be solo play, there is going to be co-op play. We just don't know anything about it yet.
The next game that came out in the series, which for me was the high point, which some people say isn't part of Rainbow Six canon, is Rogue Spear.
How is it not part of Rainbow Six canon?
So I know some people don't think Advanced Warfighter or Warfighter, not Warfare, was as well. But yeah, Rogue Spear came out a year later. Look at Dink Chavez right there.
Oh, that looks familiar.
Is this a level in Rainbow Six Siege?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, pretty much what we just played all morning.
This was less kind of. This was more outdoor areas. I remember a lot of. Obviously, we're looking at an airplane Siege here right now. It was way cooler. They had like a bunch more weapons, bunch more like variety in terms of the enemies and whatnot, like the weapons they had. It was super cool. This is like my favorite one. There was great sniping in this as well, like going through forests and using camouflage and like sniping people out from pretty far away.
Interesting. Yeah, that kind of playing around with the size of the space, certainly not the direction that Rainbow Six is currently going.
I love airplanes in video games. They've always got so much goddamn space. like woefully inaccurate.
Yeah, the presidential plane in Siege is massive.
Spacey.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of expansion packs for this and for Rainbow Six, but then I guess Rainbow Six 3 Raven Shield came out in 2003. That was okay. That was a big hit on consoles. It was an Xbox version, PlayStation 2 version. But then the next big flashpoint, which is where one of your favorite games in 2006 was Rainbow Six Vegas. And it's interesting you talk about the backlash to Siege, because there was a backlash to Vegas as well. It ended up being pretty great, but at the time people were like, this isn't a Rainbow Six game.
I mean, you can make the argument that that's kind of when things started getting, people say, consoleized.
Yeah.
You know, it started making the game more friendly, a little bit less hostile to players. You know, that was a period in time where developers started wanting players to get through their games. There was a big like change in philosophy. It was like, we'll make it hard, but we'll make sure that you can get there. Whereas I think before that they're like, oh, screw you. If you're not good enough, you don't make it.
Totally. And 06 is Vegas, and I think it was 2008 when Vegas 2 came out.
Yeah.
They were like, they weren't just straight up first person shooters. There was a bunch of like tactics, like looking underneath the doors and like setting up your plays. And also like it was rolling your fingers around in circles. And also you could die pretty easily in this as well. Not as bad as the original Rainbow Six or Rogue Spear, but you were pretty vulnerable in this one.
I can't remember if it was Vegas or Vegas 2 though, where also I think you could spot the bad guys and then tell your team when to go. It's weird because in Siege, you kind of need to be able to do that, but without anybody being the designated team leader and everybody just sort of doing their own thing sometimes. It feels like they need to actually take some of the things from Vegas and figure out how to encourage people in multiplayer to play that way.
I mean, I think for me, the biggest impact of Vegas, I didn't play it a whole lot, but what I just heard about it so often from this cadres of people that would play it with their 2 or 3 friends.
Yeah.
Like regularly, they just run it so often, and they like just that kind of tight-knit team tactics, like moving in concert with each other, covering the angles, like that kind of intensity really appealed to folks and really hit home.
Yeah, a big multiplayer component in this bad boy, and you're right, like it had staying power. The people who enjoyed playing it kept playing it. Rainbow Six Patriots was another one that was around for a while, which then eventually got canned.
Yeah, that was a trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a trailer. Then sort of. I wonder if much of this ended up being in Siege actually. Did you guys play Advanced Warfighter at all? Which isn't, I guess, Rainbow Six technically, but like Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter.
I think I got into GRAW, but that was after the Advanced Warfighter. It was a Future Soldier.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Yeah. Those were some of the games that I thought looked the best on it was like early 360 like gameplay of the stuff like that.
I think that was the one with the sync shooting.
Oh, you're right.
That was Future Soldier,
yes.
at least, yeah.
Yeah, those like 3 bullets at once. Yeah.
Like done, yeah.
Yeah, that was a neat mechanic. I thought like you could use Scout with a drone and spot them and then assign each rolls. And then you could do that in like Splinter Cell Conviction as one dude. You didn't need all your teammates. You could just shoot everyone yourself.
You used to try and be able to do that in the first Rainbow Six game where you'd set up these like calls. You'd shoot and hit like page up and like end and something else to like make those teams go live as well, because they'd be in like docile mode. And then like within 3 seconds 8 of your team would be fucking dead. Like some guy'd run around the corner and throw a grenade and it's like,
that was just because you didn't have enough finger dexterity to hit all of the keys at the same time.
well, no wonder they've had to dumb down the console version, so you got less buttons to play with. Last note on Siege, obviously you guys played it a couple of weeks ago, you played some more today on the stream. We're giving out a bunch of codes in just a minute as well for people to get involved in the closed alpha. Do you guys like the direction it's going in? What does it feel like? Does it feel like something that'll like replace Battlefield for you, or like replace Evolve for you? What do you think, Aaron?
I think it's very complementary to a game like Battlefield. Battlefield has been continually pulled towards Call of Duty, and I think we need other games that are pulled back more in the tactical direction. So yeah, it's much faster paced than people are used to in that franchise, but like just bringing that level of moment to moment, like the tacticalness of it is very second to second. It's thinking very quickly with your tools on your toes, and then just remembering you can go through half the crap on the level. And that combined to me is compelling. Like they could leave graphics behind and I wouldn't care that much.
And it's so, like, that speed, it's really hard to sort of communicate outside of actually playing it how much, because you've got, your 30 seconds of prep time and you have 3 minutes for a round. It doesn't sound that short for, like, I don't know, it's short, but it just, like, you can burn 45 seconds just getting into the plane if you're not coordinated. You can like, the time becomes a factor so quickly. It's just this condensed sort of loop of tactics, adapting, trying to get intel, adapting, firing, maybe fleeing, but dying. I don't know, you know, like, and that loop varies very slightly each time. But there's so many variables in there that so far, like at the end of a round, I'm still like, one more. Like,
Excellent.
yes, another one. Yes,
and
another
that's only
one.
with 2 maps as well at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have been playing it. If you want to play it at home, we've got a bunch of codes to give away, courtesy of the folks at Ubisoft. If you want to get into this closed alpha, there you go. Information right there. Follow and retweet GameSpot with the hashtag Rainbow Six Siege. That's currently been tweeted out by the GameSpot account. So if you just make sure you're following us, retweet that, and then we can send you the code via the direct messaging system there on Twitter. Get
and I'll
to
bop
it
you with a
quick.
hammer.
Do it quick. That game's out. Like it's only in. I think the alpha's closed.
It's only a week.
It's only a week.
To what, Monday?
Yes, and yeah, it's only until Monday.
Cool.
Also, brush up on your French.
Yeah, apparently. Je suis l'équipe bleue.
I'm sure that means
team
breach
go.
this door now.
Sure.
That's probably
Something
what that
useful
means.
like that, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means. We'll be back in a second. Justin Hayward is about to run on just for a sec to tell us all about, speaking of games that came out in 1998 or late 90s, the Deus Ex new game in the Human Revolution, I guess, fucking series, whatever you want to call that, has just been leaked. We'll be back in a second with that, but in the meantime, let's check out some hot System of a Down with this Mortal Kombat X launch trailer. What the goddamn hell, Ed Boon?
Ready?
As always.
Wake up! Grab brush and put on little makeup. I discuss the fade away the shake up. Watch it the kingdom on the table. Here you go, create another table. You wanted to. Grab a brush and put on little makeup. You wanted to. I discuss the fade away the shake up. You wanted to. Why don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide? When angels deserve to die.
There are fates worse than death.
Fall into your hands, I commend my spirit. Fall into your hands, why have you forsaken me? In your eyes, forsaken me. In your heart, forsaken me. Oh, trust in my self-righteous suicide.
It's like there's, what have we got? We're Rainbow Six,
Yeah,
Deus Ex,
sure.
System of a Down on trailers. Like, am I in a coma? And I'm living through my like teenage years again or something?
Everything old is new again.
Wake up! Wake up! I'm Raiden. Fucking Scorpion. Who the fuck thought that? The lyrics have nothing to do with fighting. But it's like suicide
intense.
or something.
It's like,
It's
man,
intense,
it's
man.
like hardcore, blood.
It's got those like slow stretches, and then those really tight stretches, so you can have beautiful. I don't know.
I can't wait. The Witcher launch trailer is just gonna have like fucking corn, like fielding. Jesus Christ. All right. Breaking news, everyone. Breaking news. Hold on to your butts. New Deus Ex video games coming out. Apparently, Justin Haywald, explain the title of this game.
Well, so for a while, we've known something is up. The Square has been doing a stream on Twitch.
Yes.
And it's been really weird. They're stretching it out over 3 days. Kind of assumed it was Deus Ex. You could kind of guess.
Have they cut it short?
Well, no, it's still going.
3 days seems
then-
like you're
then a
really
Russian
asking
site-
for it.
Yeah. Well, then a Russian site was like, here's some pictures of the game.
Great.
There's a new Deus Ex called Mankind Divided on Xbox One, PS4, PC, and then it turns out, well, Game Informer has the full cover spread. The next issue of Game Informer, you're going to be able to read a whole bunch of info on the game and interviews with developers, and so they also just came out and go, the game's out. This is what the next game is going to be. Here's our cover story. And so we don't really know a whole lot right now. We know that Deus Ex Mankind Divided is going to follow Adam Jensen, the guy from Human Revolution, and it's set like a few years after
Human Revolution?
After Human Revolution, and there was a problem with like them sending out people that have all the augmentations to kill lots of people, and so
You don't say.
people aren't really happy about that, and so mankind is, you might say, divided.
Divided. It's
Over-
almost like they're like X-Men, and then the mutants and the humans, and they're gonna fight. Or like Deus Ex 2, Invisible War, which was kind of the same concept,
Except
I feel.
way more factions and Templars and weird just
The Warren
Omar.
Spector. Yeah, all that
Yeah.
nonsense. Kevin Van Ord, you're a fan of Human Revolution.
Oh, yeah,
This
totally.
sequel, I know you didn't ask for it.
Boo.
But, shut up. I know you didn't ask for it, Kevin.
I didn't ask for this.
But are you excited for it?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Deus Ex has an interesting history. I mean,
does.
everybody loved the first Deus Ex.
Yeah, it was great.
Even though it was even then it was one of the uglier games you could get. But it was really great. So many different paths to take and whatnot.
One of the best like early first-person role-playing and
Yeah,
also
totally.
tactical shooter. Like it was-
Totally.
did a bunch of really great stuff all in the same package. I like the second one.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
You know what? I'm gonna back up Invisible War
Yeah.
and say that game was really good on its own terms. I
That
think
game
it's
has
a
like
bad
an
rap.
80 on Metacritic or something.
Oh, really?
like
I know,
that. I
but
don't know.
fans
It's like,
fans went overboard. I mean, it was poorly optimized. It had a dumb ammo system. And,
Yeah.
and there were problems with that game. You know, I really like that game. And I think Human Revolution is a nice improvement on Invisible War. I don't think it was hardly a perfect game. I
It's
think it was
almost
a
an entirely
legit
different
great
type of game, though.
Human Revolution.
It's like a cover shooter, linear. Like there wasn't much
Yeah,
in terms
they-
of the role-playing stuff that
they-
was in the previous two games.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that, though. I really liked it. But I think if there's one thing I want them to do, it's get out of this, a bunch of boxes all connected together, sort of design and small explorable areas with lots of, curly Q, vents and shafts
Yeah.
and ways to get through. I'd really like to see that opened up. But that game struggled even in some of those small spaces to run. So
Well, this one's going to be coming out to current gen systems now, Xbox
Yeah.
One, PS4, PC. Probably unlike Human Revolution, which had a later version that came out for the Wii U. I'm going to guess this one doesn't do that.
But if you want to get Human Revolution, get the Wii U version.
What?
Because it has. So I love developer commentary.
Yes.
And it's got developer commentary on it. That's actually a lot of fun to listen to. I love peeks into the development process like that, and they're too rare. So yeah, get that version, especially because the gamepad actually makes the hacking better.
Nice.
So yeah.
Mankind Divided, obviously, we've only seen the screenshots that are now available on GameSpot.com. Hopefully there'll be some more information over the next coming weeks. I'm guessing this isn't something we're going to see in 2015, Justin?
Oh, no. Especially getting just kind of an announcement now, just seeing the cover story and some art. This is going to be a 2016 game, which is going to be a really, at the best 2016, maybe 2017. 2016 is already really crowded.
Yeah, totally. In fact, we're going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes. Stick around, Kevin. We're going to talk about all the games that are still coming out later in the show in 2016. 2015, of course, we've had a bunch of delays already, unfortunately. Before that, we're going to talk about the best 9 out of 10 games. So we'll be back in a minute. But first of all, let's check out trailer for this hot PS4. I can hear Andy Bauman losing his mind in the background right now. This is an exclusive trailer we got for Snow, which is coming out on PC and PS4, hopefully later this year. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Alexander Bergendahl, and I'm back with another development update showing off M5, our closed beta build. We've been working non-stop since releasing M4 last year and are finally ready to share with everyone the progress we've made. Most importantly, this update is Snow's first step as a free-to-play game. We can now handle microtransactions in the game and player inventories. That being said, there are still many features missing that will round out the free-to-play experience, so don't pass judgment just yet. Let's have a look at what's new in the game. When you start up the game, you'll immediately see that the main menu and in-game HUD had a facelift. We've completely redesigned and polished the UI to tie the entire experience together. We've also improved the store and added a whole slew of new settings. Also, listen out for the new main menu music that we've had composed specifically for the game. In the main menu, you will also notice that we've added a dozen new events and event types into the game. You now have access to a few of each event type, like Time Trials and Descent, which test your navigation and ability to ride fast, or Slopestyle and Freestyle, that test your ability to perform tricks. All events have medal-based scores, so we look forward to seeing how many of you can achieve a gold medal in all the events currently available. One of the biggest features we've been working on is a replay manager. This feature has two primary functions. First and foremost, it allows you to rewind and replay your entire game session from different camera angles. We've seen some amazing gameplay edits from our community on our website's share page and can't wait to see what you come up with now that you have more control over your shots. Secondly, this feature gives you the ability to rewind gameplay if you crash or take a wrong turn. You'll be deducted some points, but at any time during gameplay you can simply rewind and continue riding from the last 10 seconds of gameplay. This definitely makes the more unforgiving areas of the mountain more approachable. We've added a drone to the game to help players explore their surroundings. Eventually the drone will have a few more features attached to it, like the ability to place new spawn points, but for now it's quite helpful to find new lines down the mountain. Talking about the mountain, we have over 7 new unique areas, including a luxury mountain resort, an observatory, a vineyard, a monument, and lots of improved piste areas to help you learn controls in a safer environment. We look forward to seeing what interesting lines you can come up with. Finally, this update also includes the initial implementation of leveling. You now earn XP from completing events and can level up and unlock items and free in-game credits as you progress. This only works in events right now, but we will eventually work it into free roam as well. So that's it, quite a lot of new content to check out and enjoy. We can't wait to hear everyone's feedback on the new features so we can continue to improve them in future updates. And don't forget, if you have not joined the early access or the closed beta, you can sign up on our website to get your chance to play Snow for free. All closed beta participants will also get this exclusive Red Bull helmet as an in-game reward, so make sure you sign up soon. Thanks for watching.
Hey, what's up? Video games. I was complaining last month about all the stuff getting leaked into 2016.
Pushed?
Leaked?
Pushed and
Delayed?
stuff, yeah. 2015 is a bunch of great games coming out. Still, we're going to talk about those later. But first of all, a bunch of great games came out last month.
March was pretty killer.
Yeah, kind of, I don't want to say out of nowhere. Probably should have seen one or two of them coming. But it was a relief, shall we say. Especially,
Suddenly a whole bunch of great things.
I think with Bloodborne, because I was real worried that last year there was some big hype around some AAA games that fell, way flat of what people were looking for, or way short of the mark. Bloodborne, 9 out of 10 on GameSpot, 1 of 3 last month.
Jesus
Kevin,
Christ.
you reviewed Bloodborne?
Yeah, I totally reviewed Bloodborne.
You still playing Bloodborne?
I haven't played Bloodborne because I've been so busy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also, haven't you beaten Bloodborne?
I did beat Bloodborne.
I hope you did. Reviewed it.
I'm
Same, you don't get-
and then I got 2 bosses into New Game Plus, and I need to get back. But I've been kind of busy because games keep coming out.
Well, we'll talk about all those new ones later.
Yeah.
I've been playing Bloodborne since I got back from Poland. I was away the week that it came out. I never really played much of the Dark Souls stuff. I played Dark Souls 2 a little bit, but not that much. I am absolutely in love with this game. It's actually weirdly snackable, which I wasn't sort of anticipating. I thought this was a sit down for 4 hours and play it.
Yep.
But I'm finding
No.
I'm able to play this game for like 30 minutes or an hour and just run out, get a bunch of souls, and then omens,
Blowchos.
blowchos,
Blood echoes.
bunch of blowchos, blood dews, cold blood mountain dews.
Check me and my co-op. This is a new game plus. Father Gascoigne. This is
Yeah.
me and my co-op buddy. We're going at it.
Nice.
Danny, I totally agree.
Where's that
think
music box?
Like just being able to maybe you pull back, you bring back some blowchos and you level up. Maybe you unlock a shortcut or two, which they seem
Yes.
more prevalent in this one. I just feel like the progression is, I don't know, maybe it's the experience I've had with other Souls games, which has basically been like, feel super into them and passionate about them, but not actually get past the third or fourth
Right.
boss, just because I don't think you could have that experience. Like if I played Dark Souls 2 for 45 minutes, I could end up worse off than I was when I started.
Yeah.
With Bloodborne, that's not going to happen. And yeah, needless to say, from our discussion earlier about Bloodborne Dreams, it's lodged in there.
Yeah, I it's not as difficult as what people were telling me either. Or it's difficult in like the way like a game like Rogue Legacy is difficult, where really it doesn't matter. You keep banking all your stuff. Like it's never really that much risk to go out into the world and do stuff. Like worst case scenario, you collect like 9,000 souls and you end up dying, or blowchos, whatever the fuck they're called. But most of the time you can just go back and like sink it into leveling up, and there's not much of a bad things. If they happen, then it's just like 30 minutes burnt, but it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Another game I'm trying to find time for at the moment is another game that Kevin reviewed, Ori and the Blind
I
Forest.
do all of the things.
You review a lot of video games.
Yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest. You know what? That was the big surprise for me. Like we got the review code on Friday, and it's like, yo, dudes, you can put this up on Monday.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's like, oh shit. So it was basically, there was my weekend. I was like, oh, I have to play the week I'm playing a video game. Oh, how awful. But seriously, like this thing, like I always saw it as pretty.
Yes.
But I didn't know it was gonna be that good. And even the opening, it's the first 10 minutes of this game are just emotionally gut-wrecking. I mean, I was wrecked after 10 minutes.
The platforming I absolutely adore, because it keeps
great.
like every little area is totally like makes you use all the tools that you have that you've learned up to that point in like new and interesting ways.
And you keep unlocking new ways. I mean, that's what you're unlocking really, are new ways to move through the world. And everything that you do to move in this game just feels so wonderful. Like that whole thing where you latch on to stuff and fling yourself, and you fling the projectile into the other direction. Like that is such a fantastic way to move through a world. And Chris, the escape things.
Oh my goodness.
So the escape levels.
Yes.
Talk about those.
All right, so to your guys' point about the movement being, this is a Metroidvania,
There we
like
go.
you're
There's
getting
one.
more and more abilities and you're stacking them and bringing them together, but because they're all movement focused, they all culminate so beautifully in these escape levels where there's water rising and you have to stay ahead of it, or there's lava following you or whatever. Or there's air, it's this air situation,
This is
and
so good.
they're not easy. Like they definitely take a bunch of tries to get through, and sometimes you're like, you almost had it, but they like hit this such a sweet spot of just like capitalizing on all the skills and just like being so thrilling a way to like really feel your own power and the way you've been growing and the way the gameplay experience has been evolving. It's not just that like you encounter enemies that were tough before, but now you laugh at them. It's like your whole experience of moving through the world evolves as the game goes along, and that I like 100%ed my playthrough. Not all the achievements, because there's like some speedrun stuff in there, which is deadly. But God, I loved it, and it was the movement that did it for me.
Yep.
A game that I reviewed, I don't review many games for GameSpot, Hotline Miami 2, I cannot talk enough about how much I adore this game. I was a big fan of the first game. I reviewed the first game as well. The second one for me, and I know this has been divisive both online and around, like talking to the guys at Giant Bomb and talking to folks here as well. I love the fact that game pigeonholed you into saying like, hey, guess what? You have to be good at shooting. You can't just Tony the Tiger your way through this entire game. What I loved about it was, I think it's so much harder than the first one as well, and I've completed it on this. I'm playing it through at the moment on PlayStation 4. The hard mode in this game is just like the most fun. It's terrifyingly unforgiving. The game's about 3 or 4 times longer than the first game as well. And I just love how like you're like this. Some of the characters, they only allow you to use guns. Some they only allow you to use melee, like this dude here.
Oh, this police station, man.
With like
so brutal.
with the little mini boss. How did you enjoy it? Hotline?
Oh, I mean, God, like I really this level in particular, like it got me into that loop of like because you can but you're like, I gotta hit the guy with the gun first, and then the 2 other guys are gonna come out and I can pop them, but then the guys are gonna be coming around the corner, and if they're alerted, and then you just start stacking it up, and because it does that thing where it repeats, you respawn immediately, you can just keep grinding at it, and you get into this intense this zone of and at its best, you're like in this crazy flow. And like I was pulling these like John Woo like spin shots, like just pulling around backwards and popping dudes' heads off, like, and then totally getting killed for my hubris. But just it nails that loop for me. And I agree with you, Danny. I really liked that it forced me to play levels in different ways based on the parameters. Yeah.
Fantastic soundtrack as well, of course. I'm still waiting for my vinyl to arrive. Dumped $70 on that nonsense.
Do you even listen to a vinyl? Do you have a vinyl player that you're like,
a vinyl
hey,
player.
we're gonna like let's do vinyls tonight, honey. I'm gonna make
video
some
game
dinner.
music hipster, apparently.
Throw on one of them vinyl situations we got.
I said there was 3 games that got 9 out of 10. I'm actually wrong. There was another one. Mark Walton reviewed Devil May Cry.
Oh, Devil May Cry.
Like enhanced edition? Definitive
whatever,
edition.
Is it definitive? I forget exactly what it's DMC next gen.
Yeah. It's
Ultimate
next gen version of talk about all these re-releases we keep seeing on these consoles. This was a fantastic game at the end of the last console life cycle. Speaking from that review, what did they add much to this new version?
No. I don't think they added
Turbo
much.
mode.
But I think that they added some stuff to make it harder. They did the same thing for Devil May Cry 4 actually as well. They added some stuff that made that game harder. Of course, Devil May Cry 4 was harder than DMC. You know what? I didn't finish DMC because, again, that whole time thing.
Yeah.
But I really liked what I played, and I felt like as somebody who's always loved Devil May Cry, I reviewed 4. And I always just felt like it was DMC gets a lot of flack from the fan base, and I sort of get it, but I feel like some of that's a little manufactured. Like, on its own terms, this game is just so good.
Yeah, people don't like change.
It just feels really good, and I mean, yeah, I'll back it up. It's the Invisible War of the Devil May Cry franchise. Didn't get the love it deserved when it first came out, but in time, give it some time.
It's a shame, just still waiting for Ninja Theory to have that one big commercial hit. One thing they did change in that one is actually change the ending. So the ending in the previous version had sort of this ambiguous, part 2 might be coming soon. This one doesn't. This one's straight up, dude walking into the background.
This might be it. This might be it.
That's it. We're done. But 9 out of 10. We're talking all about these 9 out of 10 games. Some great 8 out of 10 games came out just across the board. City Skylines, fantastic game. I've been dumping hours into that.
I feel like that game. I will click on any link that anyone posts about that game because it's inevitably just this awesome parade of screenshots and some bizarre, weird story about what they did, about how they made a poop lake and put people on Poop Island, or about how they made an entire city with just one family living in it. Always.
Yeah, the PC Gamer did this great article on just building a city with enough to have to put one
single family.
In it.
Really?
And
then
tracking them around.
Well, for a while there wasn't even anyone there, and the game was try to spot your one inhabitant in your entire city you've made just for them. So it's just fascinating, and our Australia office has been huge into it, and just sharing their own stories over and over again.
And the mod scene is just huge for this game. It really is everything people wanted from a new Sim City.
Yes.
Is it just everything people wanted, or is it more? Is it its own unique kind of beyond SimCity thing, or is it just
feels
out
super
SimCity?
Like, I think it feels super SimCity, and what makes it feel like that for me is the fact that like there are so many of these complex systems, but they all just seem to like make a lot of sense. Like there's so much like, complex nonsense happening in this game, but it all feels totally digestible, and it's like it's given to you and like unlocked to you in a way that feels completely natural as your city expands. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like it reminds me of like SimCity 2000. Like it may be the best like city creation game.
And apparently they deliver on the whole idea of Sims having their own lives, because like that was one of the things that was supposed to make the new SimCity so good. And then they basically cheated us out of that. This actually pulls off what it's supposed to do, which is your
tweet
Sims.
you, and then if you want, you can find them and destroy their fucking house. If they talk trash about your city, you can click on it, find their house when they go home at night, and then just bulldoze it. Be like, bam! What do you think about water charges now?
Better think twice before you tweet hate at Danny O'Dwyer.
Ask Mayor Danny O'Dwyer. Speaking of mayors, we had a mayor review that. Brett Todd did, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Brett Todd is a mayor.
Mayor
he's actually been freelancing for us for longer than I've worked at GameSpot.
Far
actually.
before he was a mayor.
But he's totally a mayor in a Canadian town. He's the mayor of Canada.
Yes.
Actually.
There you go. A bunch more games. Ollie Ollie 2 got an 8 out of 10. In fact, this week we had Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, that's a great game.
A great review from there. And MLB 15, which Mary just put the video review up for
also
yesterday.
reviewed by a mayor.
Yeah, really?
The same mayor.
Brett Todd.
We don't have multiple mayors.
Brett Todd, what's going on in your town, man? Got all this time to be reviewing video games for GameSpot.com.
He's a magic mayor.
Sort it out. So it turns out some pretty great games.
I like
How
games.
about that?
We're so lucky.
I wonder if there's any
Video
more good
games are
games
awesome.
coming out this week. Mortal Kombat, Grand Theft Auto 5 PC.
Never heard of it.
Maybe some more 8s and 9s in there as well.
Maybe, or maybe a few 1s and 2s. Who knows?
Shit. All right.
You just never know.
Come back to GameSpot.com next week to find out. Oh damn, says Eric Tay. We're going to be back in just a minute talking about the games that are left in 2015.
The hell?
In the meantime, speaking of Grand Theft Auto, here is the TV spot for heists.
We should talk about work.
We all love banks. You gotta speculate to accumulate. You must be methodical. This isn't just a dumb crime.
You gotta go in cautious. We're gonna borrow a helicopter from here. All of you will be flying in together.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Absolutely awesome, says GameSpot.
It was so awesome, Danny. And absolutely exhilarating.
Would you
I thought it was
say,
so
can you get it right?
yeah,
damn,
absolutely
it was awesome?
God damn it.
I did not notice that was happening. Did you notice?
I noticed the last one before we tossed to the trailer that you were like, yeah, we're gonna go to this trailer. Okay, I'm gonna check my laptop. This explosion.
Damn, my laptop is being
And you turned
weird.
back, just totally had no idea what was going on.
Whoa,
It was great.
What was that one? What did he have in his hand?
Probably a hammer.
Damn. Damn. Ah!
That's the one. That's the one right there.
God, they did a really bad job. It's just green.
That one was
puffs of
actually good
smoke.
because it looked like he exploded out of your mouth.
What's he doing? What's he doing? With the hammer?
Whoa.
Do it, do it, do it.
You gotta go the other way abruptly.
Nah!
All right, yeah.
Close enough.
Nah!
Jesus.
There you go. GIF it, internet. Just with the
We're
shottiest
such
green screen things ever.
9-year-olds.
All right. Let's not worry about it.
We have joy in our hearts, Kevin.
We have joy in our hearts. We have joy in our hearts because there are still video games coming out in 2015. Look, I know we've talked a lot about all the games that are coming out in 2016. Lots of slippage, lots of games that we were previously looking forward to that are maybe not coming out. But let's not worry about it. There are still some great games coming out in 2015.
Yeah.
First one up, Witcher 3, Wild Hunt.
Yeah. Dude, you came back from Poland super hyped on that game. Pretty much everyone I ever talked to is hyped on that game. I'm hyped on that game.
Yes. Me and Annie went over and played some. It was good fun. Kevin, you played some a couple of weeks ago as well.
Yeah, before that I played some.
Yeah. We had you in the lobby talking about it. You still looking forward to The Witcher 3?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to be, trying to keep things calm and cool and collected and distant and not, I gotta be a little objective about these things. But totally, I'm looking forward to it. It was my most anticipated game of the year, so it's hard not to be excited about it because I love The Witcher 2 so much. But what I really wanted was for that game to be, I wanted it to be bigger. And my other issue with it is it just comes to a crap ending.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I really wanted something just a little bit bigger and adventurous and a little less enclosed. And it looks like this is exactly what I've always wanted it to be. I mean, I think the CD Projekt Red sort of proves that you don't have to choose one thing over another anymore in RPGs. Everybody's always like, oh, well, it's a big game. You have to have this and you have to give up this. Well, no, you can have a cool world and pretty graphics and a cool main character and good combat and great systems and blah, blah, blah. Like, you can have all of those things in one game. I think The Witcher 2 got kind of close to that.
Yeah. And it seems like with this sort of, from when we were talking to those guys in Warsaw, you can tell that the expansion of their team has definitely helped them sort of up the ante in terms of the scope of this game. From playing with Andy, it felt more like playing a fantasy Red Dead Redemption than it did playing like a sequel to a linear role-playing game.
Totally. I mean, it looks like the kind of thing where, say if EA were making this, for example, and they told us it was like, oh, it's a 600-member development team, you'd totally believe that.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you think about some of the open world games that came out last year, games that like Watch Dogs and Assassins, which some people enjoyed, but other people thought fell short. And then you think about how this game looks, at least on paper. I'm very excited.
Look at this thing! I haven't seen this.
Yeah, fighting
this is
Griffin.
Incredible.
It's dope. I played a Griffin battle that went into like the Griffin straight up just flew up and went somewhere else, and I had to follow him on my horse.
Yep.
Totally. Get back here.
By the way, this is a wyvern.
Oh, is it?
Sorry,
it's not the Griffin.
Yeah, let's
it's a
wyvern.
wyvern.
Get it together.
We'll have a bunch of features on GameSpot starting Monday after next with a bunch of new information on this. They've already announced that they're going to have 2 more expansion packs, which are going to unlock sort of 2 new areas in the game. That's something I'm looking forward to talking about in those videos, the open world nature of this game. It's not so much one big world as it is a bunch of other, like there's one large open world section and then other sort of places you can travel to, which are open worlds in of themselves. But you're going to have to wait a little while.
It's like Hyrule.
Kinda, yeah. But that one big main one, it's pretty big.
Pretty dang big.
Let's keep talking about some other games. I've never been a massive fan of the Arkham series, but fans of that series are very excited to play Arkham Knight, which is coming out in a couple of months' time.
I mean,
Super
I feel
excited
like
for that
this
Rocksteady joint, man.
Yeah, and I mean, I personally think that delays are always good because 100% of the time, it's going to be for the benefit of the game. So I'm not somebody who gets upset at all over delays. And I feel especially for a game like the Arkham games, I think they live and die on the amount of, I hate the word polish, but I'm going to say the word polish. Just the amount, like, remember when the year Arkham City came out, Portal 2 also came out that year.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like those 2 games are the epitome of what we think about as polish in video games. And I feel like without it, an Arkham game would lose something. And so I'm really excited about the delay because that just tells me they're taking the level of refinement in the game super seriously. Because if there are games that are as close to mechanically perfect and have good game feel, it would be the Arkham games. I don't know. I think they're great. But I didn't play the recent one, which was a different developer.
Currently slated for June 23rd. It's the second game on the list that has been delayed. Of course, Witcher 3 is supposed to come out last year as well. Currently slated for May 19th. So both those games we're going to have in the next couple of months. One of them before E3. Other games are coming out this year. Just Cause 3. Avalanche don't have a date for this one yet. So fingers crossed it'll be some stages here. Look at this. What's going on here?
Nothing. No, I'm fine.
You feeling good?
I'm fine.
You looked like you were having a moment.
No, I was thinking of something. Never
so
mind.
is Just Cause 3, tell me this, is this going to include the multiplayer that has like showed up on
the
Steam
100
for Just Cause
versus
2?
100 or...
Yeah, or some part of it, because that was like an entirely unofficial part of Just Cause 2.
Which they then made official.
Okay.
Or official.
They brought it into the fold, so it's presumably Just Cause 3 will have something similar.
I don't know. I think I remember them saying something like they were going to bring that into the fold for 3. They don't have a date for this yet. And also Avalanche are working on that Mad Max game, which is currently slated for September 1st. So this may be one of the we may see in 2016 games. Who knows?
Mad Max, you mean?
No, Just Cause, because we just haven't seen.
No, yeah, Just Cause
much
can
about it.
slide. Mad Max is tied to a movie release date.
Yeah.
It's probably not going
They
anywhere.
kind of need to bring that back.
Yeah, that's true. Mad Max comes out the same day.
Yes.
As something huge.
Metal
and I
Gear
forget-
Solid
Oh, Metal Gear.
5. That's going to be a right banger. That's going to come out because it seems like Konami mightn't be paying its series creator past December 31st, if rumors are to be believed. Metal Gear Solid 5. I absolutely adored Ground Zeroes. You guys looking forward to the Phantom Pain?
Yeah, totally. No, I mean, we have great conversations in the office about which Metal Gear is better than other Metal Gears and so on, like ranking them. And everybody knows how much I love Metal Gear Solid 4. It was the only 10 I've ever given. And I think that game was just the bee's knees. Is that a thing the kids say?
Sure.
Bee's
All the
knees.
hit kids do saying the bee's knees.
So I'm super looking forward to it. What's funny though is that I still haven't finished Ground Zeroes, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
I finished the first mission, and I keep thinking, I'm going to sit down and get Ground Zeroes, and I'm like, I'm not in the mood for something this heavy. I think I'd rather do something a little
bit
more
easier,
lighthearted,
like Bloodborne or Ori and the Blind Forest. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. If you're interested in this, tweet at Fiddle Club with a hashtag Bees Knees.
Fiddle Cub.
Fiddle Cub, sorry, not Fiddle
But please
Club.
don't send me a hashtag Bees Knees.
Please do.
Please send him pictures of actual bees' knees.
Hashtag Bees Knees.
Very important.
Do bees have knees?
It's kind of interesting. 2 great linear first-person action games, Witcher and Metal Gear Solid, going open world this year. Chris, you're a big Halo fan. Halo 5 Guardians.
Oh yeah, they've started their cryptic trailer campaign going down, reminding you all to watch Halo Nightfall live action series lead up to Halo 5 Guardians. Well, I don't know, man. Like, I've enjoyed some Halo stories. I thought Halo 4 was pretty much the best storytelling a Halo game has ever had, or a mainline Halo, a Master Chief Halo game. ODST is a different discussion.
Yeah, it's like Rogue Spear.
Yeah, non-canonical. No, I mean, I'm always interested to see what new Halo comes out because they sort of have that Halo feel to them, which feels really good to me. In terms of the pace. I was interested because of the multiplayer beta this year. Like they're definitely overhauling a lot about sort of the pace and some of the mechanics of this physicality of the sort of body-on-body moves, which I'm really interested in because Halo, to me, multiplayer at least, has always had more actual combat than any other first-person shooter. Moments like the moment where you are actually in combat fighting someone and maneuvering around them lasts way longer than in Call of Duty, than in anything, and then in Battlefield, etc., etc.
Like glorified duck hunts, they feel like sometimes.
Yeah, it's over so quickly once someone gets a few bullets on someone because of this Halo systems. Yeah. I'll be interested to see what they do with the story. Certainly they have big narrative ambitions with all the stuff they've been doing out of 343 with the TV series and the
2 sides to every
comics
story.
And all this story stuff with the trailer. So I'm looking forward to it, but it's not a game that I don't know. Those trailers didn't get me hyped for
Well,
it.
don't worry, because it's out on October 27th, which means we've got about 5 months left of weird trailers to watch between
Yeah, no problem.
then and now.
Still
Don't
got
worry.
a few more trade shows they got to show up big at.
Yeah, good point. So that's sort of it for the games that we have dates for, but there's a bunch of other games that are supposedly coming out this year. Assassin's Creed Victory.
Oh, you think
That'll
there'll be an
come out
Assassin's
this
Creed
year.
game this year?
Yeah.
Is there going to be a Call of Duty game this year too?
Well, they released like 3 Assassin's Creed games last year, right? So why not?
They've already released one this year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, all right.
Wait, what did they read?
That China Chronicles, whatever,
The, like-
one, a 2D platformer thing.
The one that looks
out?
like Shank.
It's out or close to being out. I
Yeah.
don't know. We had a trailer for it on the show recently.
Right.
That'll be it.
Victory, set in Victorian London. It's really helpful that it's like right there in the title.
Yeah,
to
thanks
help
very
you
much.
remember.
Because it's getting harder, let's be honest, to pick out which one's which.
Yeah, which historical setting?
Speaking of annualized franchises, I'm guessing we'll hear about like Call of Duty at some stage, like in the next, like E3's on pretty soon, so
Sounds
surely
about
before
right.
then, right?
Yeah, Advanced Warfare's gotten their DLC pushes out. It's time to start revving it up for the next
Even more
year's Call of
advanced
Duty.
warfare, perhaps.
Advanceder warfare.
Advanceder warfare.
The
There you go.
Blackest Ops.
What else we got? Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You all right?
Yeah.
That's Kevin's real excited noise.
I really like Star Wars Battlefront, so I'm really excited about Star Wars Battlefront 3.
Yeah.
Why?
Battlefront
All right.
3.
Are you just excited to like fly a friggin' plane around the legs of an AT-AT again? Is that you just want to shoot some people in the icy wastelands of Hoth? What do you want from Battlefront?
Oh yeah, those are awful things. I would hate if they showed up in.
It's
Star
been in
Wars
like 8
Battlefront 3.
games.
Yeah, but now it's going to be in HD or some shit. I don't know. I'm looking forward
I
to
mean,
it.
it's fun. Don't get me
Bigger
wrong.
levels.
Shut up.
I want a good, fun Battlefield game. And guess what? That's what they need to do is go.
Well, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, do Vietnam style and just start putting pungy sticks and Hueys that play music and crap. Like, yeah,
The
Star Wars is
Dagobah levels.
It's a perfect way just to have fun with it. Just to go have fun with it again.
Do you remember the Star Wars RTS that was basically just Age of Empires with Star Wars stuff in the
That sounds
units?
about right.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was ages ago. But I just do that with Battlefield. That's fine.
Yeah, they do that
Just
all the
replace
time.
all the things with
They
Star
did it with
Wars
Halo.
things, and we're fine.
Yeah,
Dream
Star
a little
Wars-
bigger,
Hey,
darling.
Well, I do. I'm not actually saying I think that would be great.
Star Wars
but,
have
you
been
know.
pretty good for game releases. Those Jedi Knight games were pretty fantastic. Moving on, I don't think we're going to see either of these games this year. The Division.
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
I haven't heard a lot about it.
No,
No, they've
Recently.
been pretty mum, which is not Ubi's style.
No.
So, so chances of a delay are pretty good. I feel like we'd be on the workup now in the marketing cycle
Yeah.
for the Division if it were still coming out.
Also, if they've got Rainbow Six Siege coming later this year and Assassin's Creed, it
Right.
just seems like I feel like they have got to have learned some kind of lesson from Watch Dogs and the cycle of such hype to that game to such deflation upon its
Yeah.
actual release. The Division I feel like is. Yeah, we probably won't see it this year.
We've not
That's a
seen
good
Watch
call.
Dogs 2, right? Like
No.
that's just a rumor kind of thing, but
Yeah.
a definitive rumor as far as we know.
Who knows? Might see it at E3. I'm very much looking forward to Division. It looks, if they deliver on what they're promising, I think that can be kind of cool. It feels like one of those games like, you know what? Take your time with it. If it's, I'd rather play, let's not have a Watch Dogs situation where it kind of feels like it was maybe pushed out the gate a little bit too early.
Yeah, and let's not have, like, the thing that I'm hoping that they do with the Division, and the Tom Clancy games have done a pretty good job of getting away from this anyway. I just don't want to see that Ubisoft formula layered on top of this
Yeah.
game all over again, which is just like, here are all of the places with all of the content.
Yeah.
And you go out there and you climb a tower to unlock more content.
It kind of works with some games. I think
And-
Far Cry 4 kind of works with
Yeah,
that
it
playful
works.
style of that game.
It's the reason that they do it is because it's effective. But after a while, like when The Crew and Far Cry and Assassin's Creed all kind of follow that same formula, I'm ready for something different. And typically, Splinter Cell doesn't do that, so hopefully the Division won't either.
Yeah, there you go. Child death confirmed there as well. Thanks very
Oof.
much. Rough trailer. And the last game to
Jeez.
talk about, which keeps coming up in like lists of games coming out in 2015, but I'm not so sure. No Man's Sky. You guys think we're going to see that on PS4 and PC in the 2015 year of our Lord?
No.
Lord Gabe.
I don't know, man. They've been at it for a while, haven't they? I have no concept of this. You did the whole friggin' deep dive feature with them, dude.
That's
I
true.
feel like you should have give
the
us a
inside scoop.
little more on why you think that it's not coming out this year. Do you think the scope of their ambition? I feel like the initial scope of their ambition seems to have been already demonstrated to me in terms of the size of this world that they're going to let people be in. But then the question was, what is an hour of gameplay like? What is the motivations? I don't know. Was that the question?
It kind of feels like the grand concept of what this game is very finalized, and it seems like from the tools that we saw them use that in terms of like does it work? Does work? But I think that's exactly what you're talking about. I think it's what is the flow of the game. Very much felt like back at the PlayStation experience, and certainly back at E3, like that still hadn't been nailed down.
Yep.
And that stuff is like expensive in terms of time. Like content is super time expensive like that. Or not content, because the content's kind of done with this procedural system they have. But like that type of like systems, yeah.
Refining
systems.
that stuff and
that
play
takes time.
testing it, yeah.
Especially in a
Do.
dynamic world like this.
Sure.
Yeah, the do, exactly.
Yeah, but already, the thing is, Elite Dangerous has been remarkably successful, and honestly, I feel like that falls more or less in the same category, which is like, you've got all these places to go, but the things that you do don't actually change all that much, and ultimately, I think for a lot of people that can lead to stagnation. I think I don't think they need to like throw in too many systems to make this game interesting, but I would like them to see them deliver more on the in ways that Elite Dangerous does not.
Yes, I agree.
So-
It's pretty limited in that respect. At least now they're going to keep adding
But
to it.
I mean, this looks like cooler stuff than I typically did in Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
So you know, if that's what they do is just make space battles really cool,
then great.
fine with me.
Forget that. Show me more mining, more docking procedures.
I just want to get up on a damn dinosaur. Can I walk up its tail and like get on like I don't know and like are
Find
there gonna
out
be
later this year.
intelligent
Dino
things down
parkour.
there?
I
Yeah.
imagine. So that's kind of all the
Whoa,
big old
man.
games that are coming out in 2015. If you think we missed any off that list, by all means, put them in the comments below. And finally, we got some games coming out next week. Grand Theft Auto 5, Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat X.
On the
X.
PC, it's
Do your
gonna happen.
DMX.
Grant.
X. Where's your DMX green screen thing, production crew? Oh, there it
Bam.
is.
Yeah,
All right.
coming back with the hammer time.
That's the lobby for this week. Kevin Van Ord, Chris Waters. Thank you very much for hanging
Thanks for
out.
inviting me.
What are you doing this week on GameSpot.com, Chris?
Playing a bunch of Siege, trying to check that game out, see how it is in the wild. Well, the wild, as wild as it is currently getting. And then playing a game for next week that's coming out that Titan Souls is coming out
Oh,
soon.
cool.
Yeah, delving into that because that's really fascinating. Very cool game.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Kevin, what are you working on? You said you're playing a lot of games at the moment.
Yeah, I'm actually about to start playing Titan Soul, so that's very exciting. I'm playing some random stuff. There's some game that just came out on Steam where you bark spells into your microphone and make things happen. Servarium, which is the free-to-play arena shooter from the ex-Stalker guys.
Oh, cool.
I just started playing that last night, and it's functional, I guess is the word for a game like this at this stage.
Ex-Stalker guys made a arena
Yeah,
shooter?
it's
Is there someone playing a guitar at all times at a fire?
No, it's nothing like Stalker.
That's a shame.
It's pretty small arena shooter, and it's pretty.
Yeah.
But other stuff is happening too, like review stuff that keeps coming in, and
Yeah.
I've been checking out Neverwinter on the Xbox One a little bit.
Oh, cool.
So, you know,
Yeah.
I'd like to add an item to my schedule this week, and that is taunting Kevin when he's playing a Titan Souls boss that I have defeated.
Nice.
It's going to take up a bunch of my time.
It'll be like him and Tay in Bloodborne
Yeah.
all over again. Great. Yo, Tay, you want to go play some Bloodborne? More. Yeah. We better wrap up a show.
Blowchos.
Eric
What are
can
you
go do
doing,
that.
Danny?
The point on Friday.
What's the
myself
point?
and Andy. I'd fucking love to be able to tell you, Chris. I'd love to be able to tell you. Andy's rented a drone. So
Oh
we're
my.
gonna. So I guess maybe something about something
Drones
that
in
looks.
games?
No, but
What
like
happens
something
when
we
you
could-
crash a drone
City
into a
Skyline.
jogger's head by accident?
What happens if you fly a drone around a cop in San Francisco for 20 minutes? I
that
don't
should
know.
go real well.
Something on Friday. He's renting the drone because we're shooting some stuff for these Witcher videos that are going up. Yeah, Monday week. We can just come out and say that. Yeah, so check back for those, I guess.
Cool.
But yeah, that's a lobby. A bit of a long one this week. Thanks very much for Justin and Aaron for coming on as well. Thanks to everyone in the back, Mary, Josh, Eric, Dan, Ty, and all the production crew back there. We'll be back next week. Same Batman Arkham Night time, Pacific, 2 p.m. on Tuesday right here on GameSpot.
Hey,
So we'll
Danny.
see you then. Oh, sorry.
Hey, Danny.
We have a giveaway.
I
We have a
feel like
giveaway.
we have a giveaway.
We have a giveaway.
Danny,
Jean-Claude Van Damme, hit me in the face. I deserve it.
give him the hammer job.
Bah!
Oh, what? Why did I get caught in the explosion for that? I remembered.
That was way better. Thank you, Chris. Battlefield Hardline. We've got a bunch of copies
Game
of
is
it.
fun as hell, man. Drive
Enjoying
around
it?
the car, just play Hotwire mode. That's all you need to do. You'll have a ball. It'll be totally worth the retweet that you do to win this, or whatever
it's
they
not.
have to
It's
do.
a sweepstakes.
A
They have to go to
sweepstakes.
tinyurl.com/GS Hardline. There it is right there. tinyurl.com/GS Hardline. Go in there, fill out the details, and you can win yourself a copy of Battlefield Hardline.
Ride
which is out.
the G Shard line.
Should I play? Do you think? I feel like that. I feel like that game kind of came, exploded, and then went, and people just stopped talking about
Yeah,
it.
multiplayer
Should I play?
seems-
The single player doesn't sound interesting to me at all. Actually,
Don't play the single player. Play the play hot. I mean, you like Battlefield multiplayer? You were
I
just
do.
clamoring for
I
Star
do.
Wars.
And I
Battle
didn't. I didn't play 4. I played the shit out of 2. Played the shit out of. I mean, 2 is my favorite. Like my favorite multiplayer shooter of all time.
Fantastic.
I played the 3. I played a lot of 3. I quit like 2 missions into the campaign because it was as dumb as hell.
Yeah, it's pretty dire.
So, but I don't know. Like, is this? Do you think I'd enjoy it?
Hotwire mode.
Hot
Good
wire
fun.
mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Worth it.
All
Worth a
right.
shout.
I'll give it a try.
So yeah, G Shardline. GS Hardline. tinyurl.com/G Shardline. Shout out to my boy G Shardline to win a copy of that hot new video game, Battlefield Hardline. Yeah, all right, thank you.
GameSpot.
From GameSpot.com. We're done for a week. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good time. We'll be back next week. Perhaps, actually, definitely talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC, unless it gets pushed again, and Mortal Kombat 10 as well. So we shall see you then. Adios.